If you've been in no contact and your ex finally texts you out of the blue, you need to understand this one critical lesson. Otherwise, you're going to end up pushing him away. And that one critical lesson is that texting is like playing a game of catch. So when you're playing catch with somebody, you throw them the ball, and then you have to wait in order for them to throw you the ball back. So when you text with somebody, it's one bubble for one. You don't send two in a row. You say your thing, and you wait for as long as it takes to hear back from them. Now, in that one bubble you're sending, you don't want to do a lot of different ideas at once, because what you're trying to do is grab up a whole scoop full of balls and throw them all to that person at one time and then hope that they're like this to catch them all. It's much better and it flows much more casually if you just kind of send one idea at a time and let that person react to that, and you take your time being patient with that communication. The problem is that's really hard to do, right? Because if you've been sitting around in no contact for a few weeks or even a month, and now all of a sudden your ex shows up out of the blue, you are super excited for the situation. You're eager, you're trying to, put things back together and all this stuff. And chances are you're doing too much. And what happens when you chase somebody? They run. So one of the things that you can do to kind of ensure that you don't do too much is, number one, take a look at the size of their text bubble. If your text bubble is bigger than theirs, you're already doing too much. So you don't want to do too little. You don't want to seem cold or indifferent or butthurt or anything like that, but you want to do slightly less than them. And one of the ways that you can do that is by looking at the size of their text bubble. Number two, what kind of emojis are at play here? You don't want to especially if you're a man, you don't want to get overly expressive. You can use some emojis, so you don't want to go crazy with it. But are they putting effort into that message? If they're using emojis, okay, that's a sign of effort. You can put in a little bit of effort too. Are they asking you questions? Especially doing something in the conversation that advances the conversation forward, right? So if the thing dies off and then all of a sudden they're asking a new question out of the blue, that's showing effort, that they're trying to progress the conversation forward. Now, one of the things I do to help people is work one-on-one with them over WhatsApp, where they can screenshot me their ex's text, they send it over to me, and I help them determine what to say next, not only looking at their effort level, but also injecting some playfulness and humor into the conversation, so that way it's fun. And if you want to do this too, click into the link in my profile and book a call with my team and have a conversation about whether or not one-on-one coaching would work for you. And play by play, every time we throw the ball and we receive it back, we're going to attract your ex 1% at a time until you guys are hanging out again and eventually get back together.